So what's I guess been the most difficult thing about all this for you?
Just the uproar over this, the hoopla over, which I think is a non-issue and not something that should take this much time and effort and energy and money and to put together. But there was no harm intended. There was nothing that was derogatory towards the University of Kansas. It's friendly rivalry banter back and forth, which happens all the time in sports. Other bands, hundreds of bands, do this on a yearly basis of their opposing team's mascot or their, a big M on a building and a tank blows it up or something, and it happens all the time. And I think we've become so sensitive with this that people were appalled by that. There was nothing. That was the USS Enterprise. I mean, Captain Kirk said so.
That's true.
Yeah, so, and he should know, as he said, he should know, and it was. There was no malice intended. No students did anything on purpose to make it look like anything else. None of that happened. It was just part of a show that was designed to get the crowd riled up and get some applause, and it's entertainment. That's what it was.
I'm sure the band members themselves aren't used to this kind of attention. How have they handled all this?
Well, they worked really hard, and it was a really difficult show to do. The drill concept there, the animation, is very, very challenging. I mean, it's intense, and it's really difficult to do, and they did a wonderful job. So they were all excited about it, and they thought it went really well, and then towards the end of the game, we find out that there's this huge controversy. So it took the air out of the balloon, and they were really down. And we had a meeting yesterday and talked about it, and they were in support of the band and in support of me. They all wore their white K-State band t-shirts around campus. We all agreed that this was something that we didn't do anything wrong. I didn't do anything wrong. Misinterpretation. Social media took off on it, and it just went crazy. But we're going to go forward, and they're pretty good about it now. They're pretty fired up about the Southern Trophy next week, and they're pretty fired up about the game and all the things that are going on. I mean, there's a group that when they found out I was fined $5,000, which the university is paying, that's not my pocket or my budget. They started a GoFundMe.com.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah, and it's over 10 grand now, which is amazing, and it's all going to go towards scholarships.
Okay, yeah, I was going to ask what you plan to do.
It's all going. It goes right back to the kids, right back to the kids, which is the way it should be. So, and the national outpouring over this has been incredible. I mean, I've got over 1,000 emails that can't possibly answer or respond to. From band directors, from high school, from college band directors, from past students in the band here, from people that are just K-State fans, from William Shatner, for crying out loud. From,
he emailed?
He just tweeted a couple of times, and even after that he's been tweeting, but it's been pretty incredible.
So I heard there might have been some initial negative response to you in emails and stuff, but it's more
It's probably 100 to 1 positive right now, maybe even more than that. But there were some negative, some downright nasty things said in emails and in voice messages on my phone. So, when the sanctions came out that I'm not allowed to go to the KU game, it was actually a sigh of relief, because I don't think I feel safe going there. As stupid as that sounds over something as ridiculous as this, people have said dumb things.
Yeah, you said earlier you don't feel like you did anything wrong. So is it hard for you to accept a sanction, punishment?
I'd say so, but it's hard to understand, why this all came about. But I do understand how it came about, and I do understand what the commissioner of the Big 12 is trying to do. And my goal is the university backed me on this. John Curry and Kirk Schultz really were very supportive and still are, and this is what we need to do to get over this. I said, let's do it. So.
Yeah, I've heard you say that they've been supportive of you. How specifically have they, helped you through this?
Just keep me in the loop, contact me all the time, tell me what's going on, what the options are, what they're going to do, so on and so forth. When this all broke and stuff, and everybody started to get up in arms, and the emails started to call for my resignation and for me to be fired, I thought, am I going to lose my job over this? And very quickly and adamantly, they said, no, you're not going to lose your job. This is not going to happen. So we'll get through this. Here's what we need to do. And we talked about it, and when the Big 12 got involved, and we needed to head off that, because I think if the Big 12 came down with sanctions, they would probably be more severe than what we have.
When you go back and think to just what all went into the routine, I guess why use the Jayhawk? Was it just playful banter? Is that what made you?
Playful banter. It's a rivalry. I mean, for God's sake, we play KU even we're not playing KU. There's jokes about KU. KU has jokes about K-State. There's T-shirts. There's flags. There's everything. It's college rivalry. That's what's good about what we do in college scene. Every school has this at the big time level. I'm not going to give you any details, but if you did your homework and searched in a lot of the school fight songs across the country, you're going to find some derogatory things at the end of the school fight song. There have been hundreds of shows of college marching bands doing, animation and things, and blowing up a ship or something or whatever of opposing team's flag on the ship, and it gets a cheer. It's, he defeated them, and it goes down and sinks into the ocean. And it's entertainment. We do that for TV. We do it every place we go. It's entertainment. And so we did that. And it was utilizing some pretty impressive technical drills and things that needed to be done that are very difficult to do, and the kids nailed them. They did really well.
Did anyone who looked at the sketch or the rehearsals beforehand raise any concerns over it?
No, because it's the Enterprise. It's the Starship Enterprise. Captain Kirk says it was. And he should know. He flew the damn thing, But I saw it. Of course I saw it, because we taught it. And we did it, and it was there, and it's the Enterprise.
So you approved everything?
Absolutely.
Before it came up to you?
And I still feel the same way, yeah.
I've seen some people kind of wonder why maybe was the Enterprise pointed like up at the Jayhawks' mouth as opposed to maybe someplace else. Was that just coincidence? Or?
It was animation, because it was down here and we needed to animate it somehow, so we just pointed it up. We were looking for maybe some kind of lasers or something to come out there to show the whatever happens when the Enterprise fires, fires, but we couldn't get anything to work. Probably a good thing.
Who puts all the halftime shows together? Is it you? Do you work with assistants, or how does
I put them together. My assistant does them. Some grad students help, and we kind of join forces on this.
Do you examine them on video before you?
Yeah, they're animated on video, and on the computer program. They look really cool.
What do you think your next show will be?
We're going to do, we got the Souther Trophy, and it's band day, so there's really no marching at halftime. We're going to stand still and play with all the high school kids, and the alumni band's going to be there. And then after that, we're doing a Michael Jackson, Bruno Mars show called Let's Dance. We might have a stick figure that dances and does some animation there. We're going to do
That'll be the first Big 12 game?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, and then we're going to do, this year's a big year because of the awards, so we're bringing back some monster shows, as we call them. So we're going to bring back Les Mis from a couple years ago, which is a very popular show. We're going to bring back the Queen show from about 10 years ago that we did. It's Bohemian Rhapsody. And some great drill. It's a lot of fun. So we got some big shows planned and some very musically entertaining and satisfying shows and some drill. And we're also doing a Fort Riley thing. So there'll be lots of animation in there. We're going to do the Coast Guard this year because we forgot the Coast Guard last year. Inadvertently left them off the list. But we're going to play their music, and we're going to do some animation with ships and planes and tanks and stuff like that again. So it'll be fun.
Does it add any? Does it make it any more difficult to design things now that you have to run it by the school first every time?
No. This is my 23rd year at Kansas State, and I've been teaching for 38 years. I've never had a problem with a halftime show or design, and except for this one. So it's not like our track record indicates we're going to do this often. This isn't the Stanford band. This is the Kansas State band. So we don't have an issue with that. To be honest with you, it does bother me that I have to get what I've been doing for 40 years approved by somebody that has no idea or concept of how to do this. I'm asking medical advice from somebody that doesn't know anything about medical advice. But they're going to look for pictures and all that, which to me indicates a lack of trust and so on and so forth. But it doesn't on their part. It means that's what the Big 12 wanted us to do, and so we're going to do it to go through this and get on with it.
I take it, even though you meant no harm, probably no more Jayhawks, any more acts going forward.
Well, no, there won't be any more here. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, the Big 12 doesn't like that, and that's okay. I think that's a shame. As I talked to the KU band directors, and they're all fine, and their kids are fine. And I said, I fully expect the next home show that you do, you have a Starship Enterprise with a KU on it, and you blow up the Wildcat. I would think it's good, and I would critique it, and if it's good drill, I would tell you it's good drill. But I'm over myself. I mean, that doesn't mean I'm going to get upset about what you do on the field. That's not it at all. There are other things in the world that need our attention other than this. Without question, this is stupid. This is just downright stupid.
Well, what was your family's reaction to all this?
They thought it was stupid too, but they, when you read, I've got 3 girls and my wife, and they're struggling a little bit. My wife is struggling a lot. You read online on the internet about your husband this and husband that, and I've got some nasty emails from our friends in Lawrence. Some of them were threatening. That's why I'm not going to the KU game. Even if I wasn't suspended, I would not be going because I think it's dangerous for me to go there.
John Curry suggested Van probably will still go.
Yeah, their band wants us to come, and it'll all be good. So, but yeah, it's amazing that it got to this point. But the power of social media. If we spent this much energy and time and effort on good things, we could probably solve a lot of other problems.
At what point on Saturday did it register with you that this was happening?
I didn't know anything was going on until 6 minutes left in the fourth quarter. I was summoned up to the press box to speak with the president and the athletic director. I thought, what the heck is that all about? Then I walked up the stairs, and of course, I'm not in shape anymore. So I got up there and I could barely breathe, and then they started talking about what the tweets were going on and what was being said and stuff. And I was just floored.
And finally, I guess it's a nice transition that you go from this to being presented this other trophy.
Yeah.
How welcome is that?
It's welcome.
This time?
I mean, that's one of the first things to be honest with you, I thought of was, are they going to take that away from us? And I called him right away, and he said, absolutely not. You've earned this. This is yours. We're going to be there. And he said, this happens a lot across the country. We just happen, for some reason, to be very public about it, and it's national news. But he said they deal with it all the time. So we're going forward.